Episode 4. I ranted for so long that I needed to split this up. I encourage you, if you are frustrated with your current journey, to take some time off. Don't think about it for a couple of hours, or at least don't try to. See an old friend, go on a walk. Stand outside and don't go any further than your door. Close your eyes. Look up to the sun. Well, don't look at the sun. Look up into the sky. The bright light is wonderful. And that's another thing. We cannot forget that we are animals. We are animals. And as much as some would like to separate ourselves because, but we have this big hulking brain that allows us to have things like tile floors and solar panels. We don't need those paltry things like the sun or a movement. We have computers that allow us to produce value at all times with every moment of our day. Yeah, man. All right. We've been self-aware for 100,000 years, anywhere from 400 to 100,000 years. Okay, that's pretty cool. Here we are with that same number. 7 billion years, huh? 7 billion years of organisms, and we've transcended the need for nature in 100,000 years. In 400,000 years, who cares? In the last, it's either 0.1 or 0.01-ish% of the time that life approximately has been extant as far as we know. We've transcended everything before us in a couple of centuries, and essentially is what we're talking about. Man, we didn't truncate ourselves inside until the Industrial Revolution, until 200 years ago. We were outside on a daily basis to grow the food that we need to survive, and then we come up with gas. We come up with plastic, coal, engines, railways, cars, roads, cities, skyscrapers, electricity. Electricity begets computers, telegraphs and then computers. Hell, telegraphs came way the fuck before that. I don't even know. I'm getting my timeline all kinds of messed up. My point is, the last 200 years, we saw more development than we have in the last 400,000. And in the last 400,000 years, we experienced more development than we had in the last 7 billion, or at least at a rate that we had not perceived in the last 7 billion. And somewhere along there, we lost the plot and thought we were better than ourselves. I think I could rant about this without thinking about it, because that was not planned at all. Hell, I'll probably just post that. Some pauses cut out, but just like that. Changing gears. I wonder if I'm going to be posting this with my face at any point. Because the way that I like to do this, the way that I like to think about things in general, is I'll get this started or get whatever I'm thinking about, write something down on my whiteboard and think about something, and then pace up and down my house through every room. You'll hear the sound change maybe as I walk through the carpeted room, and then turn around and walk through the hardwood floor, and then go into the kitchen, and there's just, kitchen. Every once in a while, I'll wander into the bathroom. I wonder if you can hear that one. But yeah, so it would be kind of difficult to get my live face cam on for this one. Further along, much more granular discussions, I am thinking about changing the location of these posts, because right now I have it on my alternative YouTube account where it has no relation to myself whatsoever. Well, you could probably figure out who I am. It's not that hard. Anyway, I wonder if I'll post these on my bona fide first name, last name YouTube account. Changing gears again, but only slightly here. That personal branding idea comes together here, where I don't need to concern myself so much with producing value, especially marketable value, which someone will purchase as much. I can just kind of go on these rants and not really worry about it too much. On the other hand, what if I have something that is of value to somebody? I want to monetize it in some capacity, but maybe it's not in the fact that I can rant about these things that it is worth monetizing, but actually taking these rants and synthesizing them into a guide, into my sleep tricks area. Talk about how I convince myself to sleep, falling asleep process, supplements that I take for sleeping, lucid dreaming, dream journaling, the importance of light, the importance of consistency. There's so many things that I could talk about just with sleep that could really, I feel like I could really put down into some good words, a good way that worked for me to get some sleep consistently. I've helped a few people with this sort of thing. I'm actually quite proud of that because I love sleep. I'll have friends over and they'll fall asleep on me and I'm like, oh man, that's a compliment. You have no idea. Like, if, first of all, you feel safe enough to sleep in my presence, thank you, by the way. Like, just for that, that's cool. I'm so glad that I can provide that kind of a safe enough space that you feel that you can be unconscious around me. That's awesome. Yeah, that's an insane compliment. I love that. And further, it's being able to provide somebody and facilitate them knowledge that I've accrued about myself, about my ability to sleep. I've been a good sleeper for years, but it wasn't 100% just like, oh yeah, just sleep. But I've been a good sleeper for a long time because I love it. Oh my God. I love sleeping. Yeah. I wonder how much it narrows it down who I am based on only that. That's damn. Yeah. Maybe that's where I could provide value. Checklists and methods. Some kind of a book on sleeping well. I don't know. Something like that. And a variety of things. Maybe, and that's another thing too, is like this. I am no expert. On many, many things, I am no expert. As a matter of fact, I find myself quite often understanding just enough of a given field to know that there is a decade of things to learn to approach industry standard knowledge, right? It has not been my entire focus. It has not been the number one priority, A+ above all. But I have spent a fair amount of my life learning math. And I did not begin to feel like I even understood enough math to begin studying the math that I was interested in until my junior year of college. That means I have been taking math classes for 12 years straight, more or less. Math classes that I did intentionally for the sake of learning math. I've been learning math for 12 years, and I have just now gotten to the point where I'm like, oh, I am proficient. I know how to study math now. That's how long it took me to learn how to study math. 12 years. So there's several interests that I have where I am 2, 3, 4 years in maybe on some of them. But the one that I am quite confident with is the mind. I feel like I've been studying my own mind since I was aware that I could do that. So things like sleep, bias, reactions, emotions, not so much as early as that was, but recently emotions have come up to the surface. I took a lot of effort to reason my way through my consciousness. So I feel like I may have a thing or two to say about the mind, and hopefully I can bring some light to someone else's life with my words. Yeah. So maybe I'll take a run at that, where I can effortlessly ramble about the thoughts that are going on in my head about any given topic, about the thoughts that are going on in my head. So that might be the thing to take a run at. That could be that also I feel good about this because it contains my what could be a personal brand, or a good portion of my personal brand inside of it, and vice versa. My product can be contained by my effort and willingness to share my effort of my mind within my personal brand, that sort of thing. I don't know. I'm no businessman. I am barely a creative. I am a thinker. I have been for a long time. And that has been met with no action. That has been met with no results. Not no results, but few results. And I think it's time to change that. This is probably the end of episode 3. Thank you for listening very much.